Mario Kart.
Hello everyone, this is Nathaniel Bandy, and I've had a request to do the top 10 hardest Mario Kart 64 tracks. This is personally my favorite Mario Kart of all time, and while that has nothing to do with this list, let's get started with the countdown. Number 10, Royal Raceway. First off, how was this not included in Mario Kart 7? This has the largest jump in any Mario Kart game, and when they added gliding to Mario Kart, how is this not a retro stage? Anyway, this stage has a few hard turns here and there, barely putting it at number 10 on the list. After the huge jump, the turns after that are very sharp, and beginners will find themselves falling into the water very often. Those with more experience know that you need to drive into the grass and carefully get back on the road. The really long turn at the beginning can knock you into the water if you're hit by something too. Number 9. Frappe Snowland. While this course is overall not too bad, the section with all the snowmen can change the whole race as to who will win or who will lose. Anybody can be in first place and then run into one snowman, and BAM! Everyone zooms by. While of course, you can avoid the snowman by taking the route to the right, it doesn't make a difference because that route takes so long to get through that you have a better chance trying to dodge the snowman. You can basically describe this scenario like this. You are thrown into a pool of piss. Someone is dumping a bucket of dog crap on you. You can either take the dog crap like a man, or avoid it by going deeper into the piss. Yes. I give all credit of that whole joke to the angry video game nerd. God, I can't wait for his movie. Okay, getting off topic here. Let's continue with the countdown. Number 8. DK's Jungle Parkway. This whole track is just overall difficult. There's nothing in particular that makes it stand out, aside from the fact the whole track is just hard. Maybe it's got something to do with the really sharp turns, or the bridge at the end that can be hard to get into sometimes, or when you run off the tracks, with the rocks being thrown at you. The speed boost launcher at the beginning is cool, especially when you go through the ship, but it drops your speed completely when you land, and it forces you to make a sharp turn, making it even harder to accelerate. And for some reason, every time I go off this jump with other racers, my opponents gain acceleration faster than I do. And that's no fair. Number 7. Wario Stadium. One of my favorite Mario Kart tracks is also one of the hardest. Clearly inspired by a dirt bike racing track. All of the bumps and sharp turns make it very hard to control your kart. At the end, there's a gap you have to make to get to the end of the track. And if anything slows you down before the gap, you'll fall down and have to go through a huge portion of the stage all over again. While it's not too common that this could happen, it is very irritating for the times that it does. In some of the turns, I swear, it's impossible to not hit a wall while turning. Like at the last turn of the track. Number 6. Sherbet Island. This stage may not look too hard, but don't judge a book by its cover, folks. The slippery ground and gliding penguins make the stage very hazardous. For those that are trying to catch up and cut corners, might not want to try that on this stage, because if you slip into the water, you turn into a frozen ice cube and Lekatu has to, of course, pick you up. In the area with the cave and waddling penguins is incredibly difficult, because the cave is shaped in a way where you can't see what's coming, and what is coming is penguins that can stop you to a halt. Not only that, but the whole stage is of course covered in ice, so the slippery controls makes it even harder to dodge the penguins and ice. Number 5. Banshee Boardwalk. Aside from the oddly named title, this track is difficult due to the sharp turns with very little guardrails to save you, and for the simple fact that it is pretty dark. The developers must have play tested this stage a lot and kept track of every time and where they hit a guardrail, because it seems like I've fallen in every opening where there is no guardrail. And then there is the section with the zigzag turns with no guardrail at all. What a cruel stage! And that's not even the frosting on the cake. When you get inside the house, hundreds upon hundreds of bats fly out towards you to slow you down, which in turn makes it very difficult to make the super sharp turns in the house. I personally believe it is physically impossible to not run into any walls in the house without driving to a crawl. Number 4. Toad's Turnpike. A very unique stage, driving with real traffic. And also one of the hardest racing stage designs ever conceived. They have done this kind of stage on the DS and Wii now. but they aren't as difficult as this stage. When you run into a car or truck, you go flying into the air. Now imagine that you hit a truck with a car behind it. First you'll fly into the air, and then you'll fly into the air again due to the car because it's impossible to accelerate fast enough to dodge the car! To make matters worse, the item boxes are on the sides of the tracks, which makes it even easier to hit the vehicles. Now, if I were counting mirror mode tracks to this countdown, then this would be the #1 hardest track, because in mirror mode, the vehicles drive towards you, and it's near impossible to dodge them. Just look at this madness! Number 3. Yoshi Valley. I really wish the new Mario Kart games had more tracks like this. Now, sure, there are shortcuts in the new stages, but never has there been another track with so many branching paths that the game can't keep track of who's in first. And as it turns out, the best path to use is the hardest one. A good portion of the stage doesn't have guardrails, and if you fall, it's not just a quick fall, no, you fall a long ways down. It feels like 3 hours before you finally hit the bottom. The huge rolling egg at the end of the track can be hard to dodge sometimes as well, and if you touch it, you get squished like you would with the lightning item. A very challenging stage, and one of the most unique out of the whole series. Number 2. Rainbow Road? How is Rainbow Road not #1 on the countdown? Holy crap, have I gone mad? Is the world coming to an end? Are dogs and cats gonna live together now? Well, actually, no. I have not gone mad. The world is not going to end, and dogs and cats still don't like each other. While Rainbow Road is incredibly difficult, in all honesty, it is not the most difficult of them all. I will give it credit, however, for being the longest stage ever in Mario Kart, and the only Rainbow Road with guardrails around the whole stage. For the fact of it having guardrails is the reason it is not #1 on the list. Now, let's talk about the actual stage. The chain chomps that pop up seem to find just the right spot to hit people, and they are very difficult to avoid. Also, if you make one mistake and end up in 5th or 6th place, good freaking luck at having any chance of catching up. Since there are guardrails around the whole stage, red shells will never ever hit opponents and will just hit the guardrail. Stars won't help you catch up, nor will the lightning. Your only chance is to get the blue shell, which is pretty rare in this game. So now you must be wondering, what track could be possibly harder than Rainbow Road? Let's find out. Number 1. Bowser's Castle. Wow, you must be thinking. A stage not even in the Special Cup? Well, let's take a tour of the Bowser's Castle. You start off by driving into the castle, and you see fast-moving thwomps moving side to side. A couple turns later, you see 3 thwomps at the end of the room, and 2 more thwomps aiming for where you are driving to try to stop you. So not only do you have to dodge those thwomps, but then you have 3 thwomps at the end of the room which can stop you by touching them or squishing you. The next room has more thwomps to dodge that move even faster than the others. Then there's a thin bridge to cross which you can easily fall off of, which leads to the super sharp turns which will likely get you into the grass, slowing you down. Then there is the longest turn in the game which will have you running into the wall. And from there you have to jump over a gap. If you're not going full speed over the gap, you will fall into the lava. If you've been struck from lightning going over this gap, you will fall into the lava. You see now why this is #1? I mean, there is so much crap you have to avoid and accomplish that it's just insane! Ah! Phew. And that concludes this top 10 list. If you have any ideas for other top 10 lists to be made, please leave a comment and let me know. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. This is Nathaniel Bandy, signing out.